Hey, hey, hey! It's the Pacific Northwest Geek here. Echo Shiro here. Shaw, Shaw, Shaw. Today, I'm going to be looking at Romero's Dead Series, Living Dead Series, Zombie Series, whatever you want to call it. I'm going to try to do a ranking list here, too. There's 6 films in all. Okay, I got them over here, which there's going to be in the description a link for 2 people. Now it's Dark Jim and Mr. Bones. And the reason why, because thanks to them, I now own all 6. For the longest time, all I had was Night of the Living Dead and Day of the Dead. But thanks to those 2, particularly Jim, I own all 6. And there's kind of 3 ways to watch this series. Whatever order you want to. The order it was made in: Night of the Living Dead, Dawn of the Dead, Day of the Dead, put that here, Land of the Dead, also here, Diary of the Dead, put you here, and Survival, which, by the way, anyways, there's actually another way to watch this series. Oh, 1 minute, sorry. That's the order, apparently, in where the storyline goes. Night of the Living Dead, when everything's just starting out. Diary of the Dead, also when everything's starting out. Survival, everything's starting out. People are running for the hills, trying to take shelter, find places to be, and how to address it. Dawn of the Dead, well, people are really, still arguing about what to do, and people are taking shelter. Land of the Dead, where people have taken shelter, but they're now become dickheads. Oh, put you like that. And Day, well, there's not much of us left. We're fucked. As you can see, I have my tier list set up here to help me rank these movies. I have the movies here in the order that they were released. Night of the Living Dead, Dawn of the Dead, Day of the Dead, Land of the Dead, Diary of the Dead, and Survival of the Dead. I will be ranking them from favorite or fave, second favorite, third favorite, third fave, enjoyed, could have been better, and least fave. I will be giving you a little bit of a reason why I am ranking it like this. But we're going to start right here with least favorite. Survival. I feel this is not as enjoyable as the other movies. Plus, our main characters were kind of villainous when we first meet them in this one. When the kids run into some National Guard, we think they're there to help them, but they are there to victimize them and steal from them. And so we're like, oh, we're supposed to connect with these people? Hell no. Though these people are stealing from people, other people, yeah, it's to survive, but man, that's messed up. So, and other than the scene where one zombie woman tries to eat a horse, I think it is, or when the 2 zombies who in life, these guys that hate each other, but in death, that hatred followed them to death, and now zombies are trying to shoot each other, even though there's no more bullets in the guns. That's some severe hatred right there. But again, I don't think it was as good as the other movies. Could have been better. Day of the Dead. Now, I'd heard this movie originally had a much bigger budget, but the studio, whoever, cut the budget in half, which led to them having to cut some stuff from the script. I've been intrigued as to what exactly was there, what they had in mind. Maybe we'll finally get a decent remake someday that will show what they had in mind. But yeah, it's got a crappy unofficial sequel / prequel in Day of the Dead 2 that sucks. I've seen it like 2 or 3 times, and each time I managed to hate that film more than I did the one time before. 2 theatrical remakes, which I like the first one better than the second one. I've only seen the second remake once and barely paid attention. It's such an awful movie. A TV show that only lasts 1 season. I don't know if that was the original plan or if it was just, really was that bad that they didn't do a second season. Also, that season 1 of Day of the Dead coincided with season 1 of Chucky, so I'm sure that hurt it. But yeah, it gets some pity points from me because of how it that's gotten treated. Also, next to Night, this has the most remakes. That's counting the 2 theatrical ones and the TV show. Plus, much like Night, it got in a spinoff / sequel type deal. Well, one of the yeah, it kind of it has enjoyed. Now we get into where people start to go, what? Because I'm gonna go with End of the Dead. Saw this in the theater. Love Big Daddy. He's, of all the zombies, he's my favorite. This is an intelligent zombie who can feel, and he's out for revenge. You know, it's him right there on the cover. He's out for revenge to make the living suffer what they're doing to his fellow zombies. Dennis Hopper's in it. Asia Argenta, Simon Pegg, and Nick Frost have a cameo in it. The Dead Reckoning vehicle is pretty awesome. Probably the most action-packed of the movies, I feel. What do you guys think about in terms of action? Does this one have the most action in it compared to the other movies? And what do you guys think about Dead Reckoning? Third favorite. One you guys will probably hear me talk a lot about. Well, yeah. Well, no, we're going to go with... Yeah, we're going to go with Night. Yeah, I know people are like, this should be higher. But I'm sorry. I do enjoy this movie. It's a good time. I first saw this movie because a friend of... my parents were in the military, and their daughter, who was somewhat of a friend, told me that if I liked Night of the Living Dead... Sorry, if I liked Return of the Living Dead, I would love this movie. Which I have to be seeing it, and I do enjoy it. I have 2 copies of it. I have the Crichton Collection. And I have the VHS. That was the 30th anniversary where they went back and shot some new scenes with the graveyard zombie, you know, with makeup in black and white. Blends in pretty good, I guess. I haven't watched it yet. I think I've seen some of the clips. Most remakes, which the 1991, that was Tom Savini, is my favorite. I have not enjoyed any of the other remakes. By the way, the last remake I saw of it was Night of the British Dead, which is essentially this movie with they dubbed it with like bad British accents. Other than that, Night of the Animated Dead, which is a god awful movie. It's animated, and the voice cast delivers some of the driest deliveries I've ever heard in a movie. It would rank higher, but there's a couple movies that are in the series that you will find that I actually talk about more. One of being Diary. Now I know some people will get upset about this right here, putting Diary above Night. Dude, I've talked about Diary a lot. I'm very intrigued by it. As the zombie outbreak's happening, this guy's shoving cameras in people's faces, and they're dealing with all this stuff. It's chaos. It's horror, and this guy just wants to get, you know, in people's faces with a camera. And we've had stuff like that happen before. There was an 80-year-old woman who was getting beat up by a bunch of young guys, and there was people who saw this, and instead of stepping in to save her, they recorded it. They didn't care about saving her, they just recorded it. Just like there was a woman who was assaulted, sexually assaulted by some guys, and the onlookers could have stopped and they could have saved her, but they recorded it. So that's kind of like what we're seeing here. Like something horrible can happen, and people don't want to sit there and help. They want to record it because, hey, that video could be clicks, that could be views. So it's just something that stuck with me. And anyways, number 1. I gotta get all the way up. Is there gonna be any other Dawn of the Dead? Come on, guys. This is one of my favorite all-time movies. Next to Dead Snow 2, Red vs. Dead, and Return of the Living Dead. Dude, this is a favorite of mine. So this is going, of course, is going to be up there, ranked high. Anyways, yeah, I love this movie. I bought, originally was a double VHS set I bought from Suncoast. Put the tape in, hit play, and I fell in love. And I have been in love ever since. I have the recreation of the soundtrack that has a comic that's, I guess, in Italian. I can't read it. I think it's supposed to follow the biker gang that that attacks the people in the mall, and also again, in terms, okay, they've remade Day multiple times, remade Night a lot of multiple times with different other adaptations, and only remade this once. When there's no more room in hell, the dead will walk the earth. Also, some of the cast members from this are in the remake. Anyways, I gotta go. I gotta cut this video down. This has been a bit longer than I wanted, but I am the Pacific Northwest Geek, and I will see you on the flip side. And please, in the comments, why don't you guys tell me, of the 6 films, how you rank them? See you on the flip side. Toodaloo.